These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its mission to explore strange new worlds, to discover new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Classic. And this is the collector's edition. Okay, so in this game you can actually set up the difficulty. Easy and hard. And none. Okay, so no space battles apparently. Let's take the easy because I think in previous game it was pretty hardcore.
Captain's log, stardate 6223.8. We are en route to the glorious Pebble Scientific Academy, where we
explode.
Enterprise, this is Captain Luke Rayner of the USS Alexander. We have returned from the future. In 8 days, the United Federation of Planets will be completely destroyed. A new...
Can you repeat that?
My God. Captain's log supplemental. We have tracked the Alexander's course to Espar Station, a scientific research facility in the Omega Maelstrom sector. We are about to set course for that system, hoping to discover the subject of its last ominous message.
Okay, so what's the... I need to check the keys. Computer.
Espar Station. Scientific research station situated near the Gravity's End proto-universe phenomenon. It is directed by Dr. James Monroe, originally of New Texas, Earth. USS Alexander, a Constitution-class starship under the command of Captain Lucas Rayner, commission stardate 5961.1. Its current missions are classified.
That's actually sus.
USS Alexander, a Constitution-class starship under the command of Captain Lucas Rayner, commission stardate 5961.1. Its current missions are classified. Lucas Rayner, Starfleet rank Captain. Current assignment, Commander of the USS Alexander. Rayner's service chronicles an exemplary career including serving as Ensign, Lieutenant, Lieutenant Commander, and Commander aboard the USS Typhoon, before transferring to the Alexander for his first command. Captain Rayner has been decorated on 3 occasions for bravery by Starfleet Command.
So new captain. Okay, good. Had to check. Okay, so Espar Station. I have a map here, so okay, pretty much in the middle.
Raising shields. Arming weapons.
Yeah, it's the... I think it's here. This is actually copy protection from the old game.
Captain, an Elasi frigate is decloaking.
Elasi
In
again.
addition to its cloaking capabilities, the ship is mounted with 3 forward-firing photon torpedo bays.
Torpedo spam.
hailed.
On screen.
This is Captain Bevander Zane of the Elasi frigate interdiction. You are no match for our new Storm-class frigates. We demand your immediate surrender.
Forget it. Give us 5 minutes to decide. No matter how good your ships are, they're still being captained by lice-ridden Elasi hypocrites. I would lose all self-respect surrendering to a person like you.
Okay.
Give us 5 minutes to decide.
Okay. Okay.
5 minutes for what? What kind of a fool do you take me for? Goodbye, Enterprise.
Okay. Okay, that.
Save new game.
Disarming weapons. Arming weapons.
Actually, can we lock weapons? I heard that you can actually lock weapons in this game. Okay.
Target analysis on.
Captain, they are fleeing.
Oops.
Aye, sir.
Captain's log. We have engaged in a battle against the Elasi. I cannot help but wonder if there is a connection between them and the message that we have received from the Alexander.
Captain, you don't seriously expect us to believe that the Elasi could threaten the Federation?
Those Cossacks couldn't threaten my grandmother.
It does seem inconsistent with what we know.
I'm still suspicious, Mr. Spock. Just call it human intuition.
Next speed is slightly too fast.
Captain, I'm receiving a message from the station manager.
On screen.
Captain, I'm James Monroe, commander of Espar Station. We witnessed your battle against the Elasi. They've bothered us a lot in the last few weeks. We're very grateful.
Do you mind if we come down and take a look at your station? Really? Then why haven't you filed reports with Starfleet? We've heard disturbing reports about your activities. We've come to take a look at your research. Do you mind if we come down and take a look at your station?
Okay, this is better.
Espar Station would be glad to greet a starship as famous as the Enterprise. We'll send coordinates and you may transport aboard at your convenience.
Aye, sir.
Okay, so.
Save new game.
The mission of Espar Station is to study gravity's end, the only known proto-universe phenomenon in the galaxy.
Proto-universe phenomenon? I've heard a lot of things, Mr. Spock.
The proto-universe phenomenon, or proto-event, is a place where a big bang occurring in another universe deposits matter into ours. It is also noted for intense space-time distortions. The equipment on the station is highly advanced, but they appear to be of non-Federation design. There are areas protected by force fields, which sensors cannot penetrate.
Could a rupture have occurred in this proto-event that would destroy this section of the galaxy?
That is possible. However, a rupture of that intensity would almost certainly have destroyed the Alexander. We do not have many facts, but those we have do not support that hypothesis.
Then again, time travel is possible with the stock warp engines, so.
Captain, the shields are up.
Oh yeah.
Lowering shields, Captain.
Greetings, Dr. Monroe. I'm Captain Kirk.
Yes, it's been made clear who you are, Captain Kirk. Espar Station is glad to meet you. In fact, we have something interesting to show you.
That may be why we're here.
Oh no?
What the?
The modified tractor overload beam can be quite lethal, Captain. I suggest you surrender immediately or we will crack your ship like an egg.
Why are you doing this?
Okay.
You won't get away with this. How can a loyal Federation scientist do a thing like this? You won't. Why are you doing this?
Actually, Kirk, I'm the one pulling the strings.
That guy.
Bradell.
Jim, isn't he that maniac who wanted revenge on you and...
I am the one who headed the Verdane program to build our improved versions of your starships. And despite the setback caused by your interference, I survived.
Yeah, we destroyed
I thought you
his
were killed
ship.
when your pathetic imitation of the Enterprise was destroyed.
Fortunately, a cloaked Elasi frigate transported me before my bridge was destroyed. Fortunate for one of us, that is.
You intend to destroy the entire Federation? Is that the only thing you ever think of, Bradell? Revenge?
Yes.
Of course, Bradell, even surrounded by your goons. You're still too much of a coward to face me in person. You intend to destroy the entire Federation?
Guards, put them in the brig and let them rot.
Welcome to Espar, Captain Kirk. I've been asked to make certain your stay is uncomfortable. What did you do to Dr. Bradell anyway?
11 years ago, as a lieutenant on the Farragut, I exposed his scheme to overthrow the Verdane Council. They dismissed him from their science council in disgrace. He's vowed revenge ever since.
That explains it. Never get involved in politics or get on the good doctor's bad side.
It doesn't sound like you care that much for Bradell.
Well, he's never been interested in winning popularity contests. By the way, the name's Shem. Manau Shem.
Save new game.
Captain, I estimate the odds of finding and destroying Bradell's doomsday weapon at 186 to 1.
That's better odds than usual.
I am factoring in your record at performing nearly impossible feats, Captain. Otherwise, the odds would be 8,552 to 1.
What would I do without your encouragements?
Yeah.
I cannot speculate, Captain.
I'm getting a little too old to play hero, Jim.
But you do it so well, Bones.
What else? Don't think we have anything. No volume adjustment. Okay, let's talk to the captor.
What's on your mind, Captain?
Dr. McCoy, he's very sick.
Yeah,
You
right.
wouldn't happen to be related to Vakata Sheen by any chance. Do you realize that you're working for a madman? You wouldn't happen to be related to Vakata Sheen by any chance.
Uh-huh.
Yes. He was my father.
How's he doing?
He's dead. He tried to betray the Verdane Starship program to the Federation and was executed 9 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that. I knew him when I was on Verdane. He was a good man.
Obviously, someone felt differently. Since then, Dr. Bradell took me under his wing. I proved more able as a security officer than as a scientist.
Then you should know that Bradell is insane. Why don't you try coming inside for a moment? Let's see how tough a security officer you are.
Meh.
And what do you think of your father's death?
How do you think I felt?
I called him my friend. He had the courage of his beliefs. It must have been difficult having people constantly saying that you are a traitor's son. How many times did Bradell say that to you? Help us avenge his death. 10 years ago, he helped me expose him to the Verdane Council. He died because he was Bradell's enemy, not because he was a traitor. If I can expose Bradell's plans, then your father's name will be clear.
I think it's pretty good.
I have a duty, Captain. A responsibility to guard this station and its crew. If I do as you ask, I betray the man who killed my father. and also betray a lot of friends in station security who did nothing to him.
It's a difficult choice. Questions of morality are always difficult. Your friends are alive. Your father has no one except you. And how does Burdell treat your friends?
You have a point. I suppose I can let you go. I'll turn off the force field. Your weapons, communicators, and tricorders are stored in the lockers in this room. I'll try to convince security to turn against Burdell.
You remind me a lot of your father, Manaoshi.
Unfortunately, after this, I will remind everyone about my father.
Okay, that was easy.
I've opened the lockers. Try not to kill anybody. Some of these people are my friends, although I suppose I may as well start using the past tense. I'll follow after you've used the turbo lift.
He's pretty tall guy.
Save new game.
A locker. It is unlocked. This is where your phasers are being kept. A locker. It is unlocked. This is where your tricorders and medkit are being kept. A locker. It is unlocked. This is where communicators are being kept. Phasers taken. Tricorders and medkit taken. Communicators taken.
I don't think that needs to be phasered, Jim. It looks like you're a little off target, Jim.
Oops.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. No anomalous readings, Captain.
Let's try this out.
No anomalous readings, Captain. No anomalous readings, Captain. Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing unusual about that object, Captain.
Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
Transmission detected in prison sector. Security forces converge on prison sector.
We're being jammed. We have to disable the station's communication system if we want to contact the Enterprise.
Oh no.
Kirk to Enterprise.
Transmission detected.
We're being jammed.
I didn't realize the Vardane were this much into genetic engineering. The skin has been custom engineered into a light epidermal tissue. Muscle fibers are much denser than usual.
A strong, viable species. Interesting analysis, Bones. However, we have more important things to do at the moment.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. The duct is composed of a light aluminium and hectite alloy.
Okay. Meaning.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. The wall is made from solid duranium steel alloy. Its structural integrity appears to have been weakened by a time-space phenomenon. But this section of wall is still strong.
Okay, good idea.
The wall is made from solid...
Okay.
The wall is made from solid uranium steel alloy. Its The floor is made from solid uranium steel alloy. Its structural integrity appears to have been weakened by...
Okay. What then? Espar station. Yellow alert. Vacuum. Betrayal's quarters. The docking bay also. Detention is here. We can go here.
Save new game.
Okay.
I'm afraid that the social Darwinists have never impressed me, Jim. Building a better human on the inside is far more preferable to improving his physical traits.
Originally, Doctor, Vardane was a very harsh environment. The Vardane claimed that the original human settlers required genetic engineering to survive.
Living only to survive is a poor life indeed, Spock.
Well, Spock, what do you suggest?
We should attempt to gather evidence that Dr. Betrayal is planning to commit genocide. Others may help us if they are confronted with the scope of Betrayal's misdeeds. We must find out what Betrayal's plan is. If we could find the central computer records, we may be able to tap into them and learn his exact plan. We need to shut down the tractor beam that is currently holding the Enterprise. Until the ship is freed, our options are limited. We should not forget that we need to be able to communicate freely with the ship. It will be necessary for us to neutralize any source of interference. Our chief priority is to find the reason for the Holocaust that was reported by the Alexander and stop it from occurring.
No effect.
Okay, that's interesting.
An active force field, Captain. From the looks of it, its strength is considerable.
A mutated Antarian man-killer, an improved version of one of the most feared animals in the galaxy. Some sort of special project controls, very bulky with a lot of prototype components. It is currently protected by a force field.
According to my tricorder, Captain, the power system for this force field originates from the security section.
Okay.
My God, it's not just an Antarian man-killer. You should see some of the genetic engineering they've done to it. They've actually made it deadlier.
A formidable achievement in genetics, Doctor, given that the species is renowned throughout the galaxy as one of the most powerful and dangerous predators in known space.
There are reasons why the Federation monitors genetic research, and this thing is one of them.
The device appears to be involved in genetic research, Captain. It inserts mutagens into genes and monitors their progress. The device is empty.
I bet you'll find genetic residue that they use to add to our warm and cuddly friend over there.
I detect a great deal of augmentation in the creature's anatomy, Captain.
Some sort of special...
According to my tricorder, Captain, The power system for this force field
So security.
The door is locked. A large potted plant is hanging from the wall.
Somebody has a green thumb here.
You mean to tell me there are Verdane who are interested in something other than eugenics or military conquest?
Bakadashim was proof of that. Unfortunately, it cost him much.
Oh.
Oh.
This is a wall cabinet. This appears to be a synthesis between a computer and a musical instrument.
A Kikilian. How rare.
What is it?
It has many uses, Bones, but it's most commonly used as a mood inducer. It emits subsonic vibrations at a wavelength that stimulates the emotional centers of the human brain.
Maybe we could use it on the Verdane.
The effects of a Kikilian are not significant enough to radically change emotional states. If it had such abilities, logic would suggest it would have wide use as a narcotic.
Well, that's one great plan that's gone down in flames.
No effect. No effect.
Jim, you don't suffer from hay fever, do you?
Your record should show that I don't, Bones. Why do you ask?
Well, somebody on the station does, and that's why the filter's set up in here. The Malborian creeper here is producing pollen at an incredible rate. I've never seen anything like it.
Another Verdane improved life form.
Can't they leave anything alone?
Most of the time, no.
I detect what appears to be Andorian barbicide in this cabinet.
That's a rather powerful drug. I didn't realize the Verdane were into drug smuggling.
This could be a private matter, Captain. Also, the Elasi are known to smuggle this drug.
Jim, there is a legitimate use for barbicide in treating severe allergies.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain.
The pot and its holder are firmly attached to the wall. No effect. The pot and its holder are firmly attached to the wall. No effect.
Okay, let's continue scanning here. What's this?
The food synthesizer is working perfectly, Captain. A Malboralian desert creeper. They require little water and can go months in between watering. This is quite a robust example, Captain.
The pot and its holder are firmly attached to the wall. The pot and its holder. The filter is bulky but portable. No effect. No effect. No effect.
So we have a no filter. Ah. Is this security room?
Rather cramped living quarters. Only a small step up from Klingon ships.
No wonder the Klingons have such a bad temper.
We'd better be quiet. There's a gentleman on the bed who might quarrel with us if we wake him up.
A target for laser firing practice. A small shifting holographic bullseye is certain to challenge even the most skilled marksman. A target for laser firing practice. Practice dummies for martial arts. A Verdane guard, currently asleep.
Martial artist.
A mat usable for gymnastics and martial arts practice.
Usually in these point-and-click games you need to like pick
The
everything up.
mat is firmly attached to the floor.
Okay.
Save new game.
The station is solidly constructed, but rather sterile. Even the wall looks harsh.
No anomalous readings, Captain. No anomalous readings, Captain.
I don't understand any of this, Jim. Nothing on this tricorder, Captain. No wonder he's not on duty. He's suffering from cervix toxemia. He must have spent some time on Rigel 8.
Think he'll get up?
He's under heavy medication, Jim, but with Verdane physiology, you can never tell. Nothing on this tricorder, Captain.
The station is solidly constructed, but
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing unusual about... The wall is made from solid duranium steel alloy. Its structural integrity appears to have...
Okay.
The wall is made from solid...
The wall looks very solid. A light mounted in the ceiling.
Do we need a light?
The dummies are not easy to carry, but you manage. The mat is firmly attached to the floor.
So now we have 3 dummies. And there's 3 guys of us. Okay.
Nothing unusual about that object. Nothing unusual about that object, Captain.
Nothing on this tricorder, Captain. This wall isn't alive, Jim. Nothing on this tricorder, Captain. Nothing on this tricorder, Captain.
Old Sierra and LucasArts games had this amount of points, which meant that how much you have been solving the puzzles in the game. And you could usually play them through without having like a 100% points. Something like a 60 or 80%. Most likely closer to 60%, so you need to do like extra stuff to get them, but this game doesn't have a points.
The wall is made from solid duranium. Captain, my tricorder indicates that the doors are made of an extremely dense material that is phaser resistant. Nothing unusual about
Security room is here.
There they are! Get them! Fire!
McCoy has decided this is not a spot that he'll visit on his next vacation.
Okay, so okay, he's stunned.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah. Okay. He's okay.
Save new game.
I wasn't fast enough.
This floor seems solid, but so barren.
Nothing unusual about that object.
These guys make Spock seem decrepit by comparison, Jim. These guys make Spock seem decrepit by comparison. Jim, what's that smell?
Wanaka gas. A knockout gas with an extremely long effect.
We have mere seconds to neutralize it or get out of here.
Okay, so there's a gas in the transporter room.
You're too late. I've set the computer on a continuous auto-diagnostic. You'll never be able to get it online.
I don't believe in the word never.
No effect.
He doesn't have anything.
A rather unconscious computer technician. A rather unconscious computer technician. Dr. Leonard McCoy doesn't like working with machines, but doesn't like primitive medicine either.
These are various advanced designs, Captain. They appear to work on a modified Daystrom duotronic system version 9.0, with some enhancements I do not recognize.
Well, Spock, do you feel at home here?
My home is Vulcan, Doctor. Its physical appearance is quite dissimilar to this place.
There are machines here, Spock. Computers. This is where you belong.
Roast.
My place, Doctor, is as science officer aboard the USS Enterprise.
Spock, if you left the Enterprise, I'm sure you could find a job substituting for one of these mechanical marvels.
Actually, Doctor, the computing capacity of one of these machines is substantially faster than the processing power of the Vulcan brain.
So you admit that you are inferior?
In speed and memory, affirmative. Other areas exist, Doctor, where even you are superior to this machine.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Spock.
Nah. Roast. Is that a chessboard?
A three-dimensional chess set.
What is it doing here?
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. A Fullingtech 2000 3D image projector. The majority of the system must be stored on an upper deck. This system is quite bulky, like most 3D projection units.
Middle-aged human male, currently unconscious. Middle-aged human male, currently unconscious.
The tricorder can tap into the core memory, provided that we can end the diagnostic cycle.
Big if.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain.
It's a...
The tricorder can tap into the core memory.
Okay, so we need to fix the computer.
Captain, the computer is locked into an infinite loop. It will continue playing the game until it defeats itself. I can interrupt the moves and input my own.
Try rook to queen's level 3. That will threaten its bishop.
An excellent move.
Now let's push a pawn on king's level. That will force it into a more stable position. Now move your other rook to support it on queen's level. We should be able to threaten the queen or the bishop. Let's try something a little dangerous. Rook to king's level 2. Now move your other rook to support it on queen's level. Now let's push a pawn on king's level. Now move your other rook.
It seemed to be expecting something else, Captain. Its queen is vulnerable.
Let's not be too hasty. Advancing the bishop to support the rook will give us a solid advantage on the board. Let's confuse it with a sacrifice. It might be interesting to trade queens. Let's take the queen and see if it resigns.
A superb game, Captain. You have made it. The diagnostic cycle has ended.
Excellent, Spock. Can you access the computer?
Okay, that
the
was
main memory
easy.
unit will not accept my attempts to access. I will need to find a more friendly interface with enough memory to hold the information. Captain, I am connecting the science tricorder to the central computer. We can use it to tap into the computer now that the diagnostic cycle is finished. We might use Dr. McCoy's tricorder as well.
The last game had this.
Captain, I am connecting the medical tricorder to the central computer.
Had this puzzle where you need to use these both, and it was like my mind was blown, basically.
Success, Captain.
Okay.
I have access to Burdell's Project Big Bang files and to the access code for his personal quarters.
Nice.
I do not see the logic in that action.
Jim, what's that smell?
Wanaka gas, a knockout gas with an extremely long effect.
We have mere seconds to neutralize it or get out of here. The air is being purified almost immediately. Ah, good old star-based filtered air. So dry it makes me want to drink a glass of water every 5 minutes.
I'm sure we can transport you into water if you really want some.
Damn transporters. If man were meant to fly around the universe, God would have allowed him to disassemble his own molecules.
Okay.
We are ready to transport the dummies, Captain. That should prove an adequate distraction for us to get into security.
At least we have a chance now.
Captain, all areas of the ship except Burdell's quarters are accessible by transport. We have access without transport to all areas except security.
The dummies should provide a convincing decoy during transport and give us the edge we need. Set transport coordinates for security. Let's transport later. Set transport coordinates for security.
McCoy is shot every time.
Damn it, I'm a doctor, not a target.
Okay. That explains.
This console controls communications tracking. From his insignia, this Vardane has the highest ranking. From his insignia,
I give you credit, Earther. You show extraordinary guile. Well played, Captain.
I'm not playing games. I'm trying to prevent Betrayal from destroying the Federation. What's your name, mister? You're not so bad yourself. What are you doing, lowering yourself by working for a lunatic like Betrayal? I'm not playing games. I'm trying...
I trust you have evidence to back this claim.
If I presented evidence, would you help me stop him?
Is there any reason why I should?
Do you want to see 100 billion people die? Do you want to see the survivors of the Federation destroy Vardane?
Not particularly. And Betrayal has not treated us with the honor that the soldier class of Vardane demands. If this action threatens Vardane, our class code demands that we help you.
I'll try to provide that evidence.
I can't stop you right now. If you return here and present evidence of your claim, I will look at it. Until you can prove your claim, Kirk, my men will hunt you down like animals.
I don't think I can fit...
Affirmative, Captain.
I don't know if that's meant as an insult or not.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing unusual.
This console controls communications tracking. This console controls force fields in Special Projects Room.
I have deactivated the communications tracking systems, Captain. I have lowered the force fields in the Special Projects Room.
I wonder if that was the right choice. Oops.
I have raised the force fields in the Special Projects Room.
What's that?
A Vardane phaser.
Captain, these phasers are greatly inferior to our own. Their stun setting renders individuals unconscious for only a few seconds at a time.
The Vardane typically have many hidden weapon caches in their facilities. Disarming them won't solve the problem. We'll just have to deal with Vardane attacks as they occur.
Captain, these phasers are greatly...
The Vardane typically...
Okay. We have a... So, there's like 2 corridors here. Okay, they had reset it, so...
The station's systems console.
Okay. Let's scan that.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. I am disabling their backups. It includes several systems that are not controlled from this station. I am disabling their weapons control. I do not detect access to anything around the proto-event.
Surrender or die.
Surrender, or we'll face. Can I have 5 minutes? We surrender. Can I surrender, or we'll face.
The airlock is closed. You can't phaser it open. Surrender or else.
I guess it's or else. Okay, we surrender.
Let's get their weapons.
Okay, Spock.
7 with 1 ball. An exaggeration, Doctor.
Come on, you two.
Okay, that was easy.
This looks like an Analbi-class light personal transport, similar to the shuttlecraft aboard Federation starships. This monitors the effectiveness of the cosmic ray filter along the shuttle bay. The door into the docking bay. The door into the dock...
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing unusual. Nothing unusual.
We could escape with the shuttle.
No effect. No effect.
Captain, the door controls have been overridden. We might phaser it open, but if the Vardane are capable of controlling the force field barrier, we would be pulled into the vacuum of space.
It's too risky, Jack.
I am unable to open them, Captain. They require a retina scan, a voice pattern, and a key code.
Let me guess, Bradell's.
Dr. Bradell would seem to be exhibiting signs of the human emotion, paranoia.
That's an
okay.
understatement.
An understatement. Yep. Did we check the whole place?
Nothing unusual about
that.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. I do not see the logic in that action.
Spock is doing the heavy lifting here. Okay, you can use that.
Spock, remove the atmosphere. Spock, sabotage the system. Spock, remove the atmosphere. Spock, sabotage the system.
The controls are no longer functioning, Captain.
Okay.
Spock, could we use this system to give them some sort of erroneous message about their cosmic ray filter? Make them believe it's about to collapse. Force them to abandon the station?
Negative, Captain. I would require much more effective access to their monitoring systems.
Do you really think that the real zealots would abandon this project under any circumstances?
I am unable to open them, Captain.
Spock, open the outer door.
Captain, the door is open. Magnetic locks are keeping the transport in place, Captain.
Good thing.
Spock, close. Spock, sabotage the Spock, close.
Captain, we should not risk damaging this equipment.
Spock, sabotage the system.
The controls are no longer functioning, Captain.
I was just like messing around, but now I had like an
Surrender
idea.
or die.
Surrender, or we'll phaser the airlock and we'll all go flying out together.
The airlock is closed. You can't phaser it open. Surrender or else.
I guess it's or else. Okay, we surrender.
Let's get their weapons.
Seven with one ball. An exaggeration, Doctor.
Come on, you two.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. They require a retina scan.
Let me guess, Bradel's.
Dr. Bradell would seem to be exhibiting signs of the human emotion, paranoia.
That's an understatement.
Nothing unusual about... Nothing unusual...
Spock, open the outer door. Spock, sabotage the system.
The controls are no longer functioning, Captain.
Spock, remove the atmosphere.
The atmosphere has been pumped out. Magnetic locks are keeping the transport in place, Captain. I do not see the logic in that action.
Spock, restore the Spock, sabotage the system.
The controls are no longer functioning, Captain.
So now it looks like it's closed, but there's no air in here. So if the Bradell is trying to escape, because we can teleport out. Right.
Save new game.
Okay, so we need to remove these, but in the same time we are going to remove these.
Captain, according to my tricorder, our phasers do not have enough power to penetrate the...
So let's lower the shields. Ah.
Captain, are you certain that is where you wish to aim the... I do not see the logic in that. Captain, since I programmed the destructive sequence into the auxiliary network, it will take several days to repair it. Captain, I programmed the destructive sequence.
No effect.
Captain, I programmed the destructive sequence into the weapon's control. It would require an engineering team. I am disabling their communications network. We will now have a clear channel to the Enterprise.
Okay.
I do not see the logic in that action. Captain, since I programmed it, I do not see the logic.
Well, that at least good. We can now transport back, and it's security that we need to go.
The door is locked, Jim. Jim, what's that smell?
Wanaka gas.
We have mere seconds to neutralize it.
Okay, that was fast.
Enterprise, this is Captain Luke.
My God. Captain's log supplement.
Do we have a... security room is...
The door is locked.
Okay. So we need to use the teleportation device.
Jim, what's that smell?
Wanaka gas. A knockout.
We have mere seconds to... The air is being purified.
I'm sure we can transport.
Damn, transport.
We are ready to transport the dummies, Captain.
At least we have a
Captain. All in.
The dummies should set transport coordinates for security.
Damn it, I'm a doctor.
This console controls...
Okay.
I have lowered the force fields in the special projects room.
Now we return to the special projects. Let's save.
Save new game.
Jim, look out!
I suppose the stun wouldn't have nearly enough power.
The central control for the special projects room. You have already deactivated its protective force field.
This is the control for the special weapon that is holding the Enterprise. The force field that prevented our access to the controls has been neutralized. Captain, I have deactivated the tractor beam. The Enterprise is now free.
an empty cage.
Save new game.
Here is the code, Captain.
Okay.
Well, it appears all of those misspent years playing chess have finally been put to good use, Mr. Spock. We can now enter Bradel's quarters.
Misspent years, Captain.
Definitely, Spock. You could have been spending time studying or playing baseball with family and friends.
Vulcans do not play baseball, Doctor. Nor do many humans in this century.
Let's go. I want to have a few words with my old friend, Dr. Bradell.
I do not see the logic in that action.
So, you managed to elude our security. I'll have their heads.
It's over, Bradell. Surrender peacefully, and we'll guarantee you a fair trial.
I will not submit to a trial by a tribunal of chattering apes. We are the Vardane. Lesser species have no right to judge us.
Your experiment is over, Bradell. Morality transcends the differences in species, Bradell. You don't honestly think you can defy the three of us, do you, Bradell? Your experiment is over, Bradell. Morality transcends the differences in species, Bradell.
Morality. It is an invention designed to
He
make lesser
starts to
people
preach.
feel superior. The universe is full of moral people, and for the most part, they are dead wood. People who are preoccupied with morality never make history. You always did love to lecture, Kirk. You'll be the most self-righteous corpse in the galaxy.
Agent Vardane engineered human male with prosthetic enhancements in average physical condition.
A food replicator. A dartboard. A very good likeness of James T. Kirk is its chief decoration.
Okay, he really hates Kirk.
He is Bradell. For once in his life, he's not a threat to anyone. He is Bradell's bed. Oddly enough, the furniture demonstrates a classical taste that you would not have expected from Bradell. A table with a book on it. The Journal of E.S. Bradell.
I'll read it. According to this book, Bradell's secret code is 2162.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing unusual about...
I'll read it.
Okay. So Kirk the
According
preach.
to this book, Bradell's secret code is 2162.
2162, so... Is it... this computer?
None of the computer's systems appear to be in control of the proto-event project.
You pick up Bradell's journal, and a bookmark falls out.
This is unusual, Captain. I would not have expected a man like Bradell to rely on a paper record.
Who knows, Spock?
Okay, that's a sus. Immediately.
Nothing unusual about that object.
The bookmark is intricately decorated, not too dissimilar from a computer circuit pattern.
Ha ha ha. Okay.
Captain, there's a number coded in base 64. The number is 2188.
2088.
None of the computer systems appear...
Okay, so is there like a hidden computer somewhere?
It appears to be constructed from a silver aluminum alloy, Captain.
A metal table.
And he can't tell us so.
Bredel's nightstand. It appears in perfect condition. There is no room for sloppiness in his orderly existence.
Nothing unusual about... Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. There is something hidden behind the dartboard, Captain. Some sort of electronics.
A trap?
I'm unable to tell, Captain.
Okay.
The offending dartboard is removed, revealing a set of controls.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
I will need the correct code, Captain.
We've seen two possible codes, Mr. Spock. 2162, 2188, 2162, 2188.
This was his secret code.
I have activated the code circuit. The proto-event weapon is decloaking. I have also managed to deactivate the station's shields and have a clear communications channel to the Enterprise.
Broadcast the coordinates, Mr. Spock. Have the Enterprise destroy that weapon.
The coordinates have been sent.
Scotty, 3 to beam up.
But you are not taking the Predel with you. Okay, interesting.
That has to be one of the most welcome explosions that anyone will ever see.
There is turmoil on the Vardane Council, Captain. The members who supported Bredel's anti-Federation policies have been forced to resign. I expect improved relations between the Federation and Vardane.
That's good to hear. Though history shows that suppressed movements like Bredel's have a habit of resurfacing at inconvenient moments.
And Bredel is now a Federation prisoner. I hope this will not prove to be a rallying point for those Vardane who hate the Federation.
I've received word that Mr. Shem's application to enter Starfleet Academy has been accepted. He should make a fine officer one day.
Captain, I'm receiving a message from the USS Alexander.
The Alexander?
Temporal paradoxes are most fascinating, aren't they, Mr. Spock?
Are you attempting to annoy me, Doctor?
On screen.
Luke Rayner here. I know we've never met.
Yes, of course.
We got your signal, and Starfleet has asked us to assist in cleaning up your operation.
It's good to have you with us. Better than you could possibly guess.
I don't understand, Captain.
It's a long story. Come aboard, and I'll tell it to you.
I have reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. Well done, Kirk. Keep up the good work. I must say, however, your performance is not what we've come to expect from James T. Kirk. I guess we all have our off days, Captain. Kane out.
Okay, so I forgot to do something.
Aye, Captain. I'm looking forward to taking leave on Nova Atar. The museum there is supposed to be quite excellent. Lots of antique and one-of-a-kind machinery.
Commander, are you certain it's not the Kazakhstanian cognac you're looking forward to?
Do they make that there, laddie? I don't know.
Why, Mr. Scott, I'm surprised at you, not knowing the location of a famous distillery.
We invented that brandy, you know.
Right.
Of course you did.
No, really. We did.
No one would ever doubt you, Ensign, however...
Sorry to interrupt, Captain, but we have an emergency call from the science vessel Demeter. She's in orbit around Balkos 3.
Demeter,
Captain Kirk, good to see you're in the area.
You have an emergency, Commander Gelman?
Well, I'm not sure, actually. Maybe more of a case of better safe than sorry. We're orbiting Balkos 3 to study the Balkosi, a race of people just entering their own Stone Age. We've only been here 2 days. Already, we've found some unusual data. But just a few minutes ago, during the deep geologic probing phase, we were suddenly scanned.
Scanned? I thought the Balkosi were just developing.
They are, Captain. And there haven't been any indications of old civilizations until now. The scan was also of extreme power. Following that, we detected a power source coming online. We'll send the coordinates along with all the other information we've gathered. I was a little concerned that we triggered an old defense mechanism. With the amount of information it pulled in its scan, we'd be an easy target. I've moved the Demeter to a higher orbit on the far side of the planet.
Quite reasonable, Commander. We're on our way.
Thank you, Captain.
Kirk out.